Howdy and aloha. Welcome to Manata.
Really nice.
Earth and you are ohana. We hope you stay and talk.
Oh shit. Yay. I totally screwed that up. Alright. At least I got it on the intro now, which is really cool. Howdy and aloha, everybody. This is James. I have a little show called Monotalk. I've been doing a blog talk since 2014. And now I've got YouTube channel. I'm on Twitter. Sometimes I'm on Facebook. Basically, what I do here is pretty simple. I'm just trying to save the planet and all of its inhabitants. I know that's crazy. I know that's crazy. But it's necessary and it's needed. I'm really trying to get the right people out there to listen and pay attention and understand that we don't have time. We don't have what we used to have. And what we used to have was time. Before the Industrial Revolution came, we had tons of time. You know, back when there was just horse and buggy, you know, and back from there, the volcano here and a fire there or whatever just didn't really affect too much because the earth kind of took care of itself. It had it's a living creature in my opinion. It's our mother earth. That's what I think. Always giving, always forgiving, and always helpful and there for us when we need her. Yeah, just scored some points, I know. But what I try to convey most of all is that we are not what we were 100 years ago or even 50 years ago. Like I said, there were beaches that I used to go to on Hawaii, and I visited the Big Island twice, and I was at the black sand beaches in Hawaii, black sand beaches, and I remember being there, and it was just so beautiful when I was about 18 or 19. And, it's been a while, but there was a show called Trash Inc. that came on CNN or something, PBS. This Asian dude was doing the show. And he showed the same beach I used to walk on, and they've just, ever since then, it's been polluted. There's plastic bottles and junk all over the place. It's just terrible. It's terrible. And my goal is to reverse that, not just with pollution. We're talking about fracking, crude oil, coal. There's no such thing as clean coal. It never will be. There's no such thing as cleaner diesel. Gas is gas. CO2 is CO2. Pollution is pollution. And we're starting to feel the effects. Triangle Island, up in the northern part of the United States, is going to be one of the first U.S. casualties to climate change, or our footprint and what we've done what the world's done, not just us, to the planet, and how the oceans are rising at an exponential rate, and it's compounding over time. We've got things like nuclear. Fukushima is still pouring out 400,000 tons of radiant polluted water to cool and to fix the mess over there. It's just getting worse and worse. And in a microscopic level, that's doing some serious damage. Our Great Barrier Reefs are bleaching, they call it. In other words, the pH levels are not good, and it's almost fully irreversible. And once you start killing off the microorganisms that live in the coral, that affects the food chain. The circle of life. But nobody's doing much. It's not fast enough. We don't have the right people in office that give a shit, especially in this country. We got some very naive. I wouldn't say naive. It's a willful naive. It's what they call the cognitive dissonance that people willfully place in their minds when they don't want to know the truth. They don't want to hear what's really happening. They kind of, all things bright and beautiful. Everything's wonderful and joyous, and there's unicorns everywhere, but that's far from the truth. And if you want to turn off your YouTube now and go somewhere else, I get you. It's brutal out there. I could go on and on and on and on about what we're doing and the abuse that we're putting and placing, and not just on the earth, but our own species. The U.S. has been at war or killed Indians, Native Americans, millions of them, and then we decide after we've populated the North American continent with our colonies, we start wars, and over the 240 plus years that we've been an actual nation, we have killed 20 plus million. I would say with the Native Americans, it's got to be at least 23 to 24 million women, children, women, children, and men, of course, in the instigated or what Jesse says is, and a lot of people have said is, if you can't, Jesse Ventura, that is, somebody that I've been watching, following for a while, guys spot on pretty much everything. He's not perfect. Who is? But he said that when governments can't come together and come to some kind of negotiation, some kind of barter, some kind of trade agreement, something to keep their relationship in a positive light. If they fail to do that, when governments fail, wars begin. I repeat, when governments fail, or politicians actually, executive, judiciaries, and legislators, in the United States and abroad, when they fail or do not produce or aren't productive in doing what's best for everyone and keeping people alive, right? It's pretty simple. If you thought of it, if you always had that core belief in your mind, save, help, fix, repair the planet and its people and all of its inhabitants, what would your judgment be? Instead of your core being on how many yachts can I have? What is the biggest yacht I could buy? How many jacuzzis do I need in my house? In my 20-bedroom mansion with 5 people living in it? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The greed that's just has overwhelmed us. I want you to be successful. I want you to have a big house. But if there's a time for me when I become more successful financially, I would travel. I love traveling. I've been to the East Coast. I've never been to Chicago, which really sucks. I've lived in Texas and Alaska and Canada and Washington State, Oregon, and all over California, and especially Hawaii. My heart's with Hawaii always. But if I could just travel, like go to the Great Pyramids, or go down to the Inca temples or the Mayan temples, and just go to Scotland and or Ireland and have a fucking beer, and just travel around. That's where I'd spend my money. Just traveling and learning about other cultures and people, and seeing new and different plants and animals. Just opening up my mind to more. And, which a lot of rich people do anyway. But I mean, when you get in a really good spot, I'm kind of going in a tangent here. Is it more important to take from others than it is to share with others? I mean, who was it? It was said in a movie. Uh, was it Terminator? God, I'm trying to remember the name of the movie. I think it was Marvel. I think it was Marvel, the Avengers. Or somebody said uh, kids, just men especially, just have a hard time sharing. We have the hardest time sharing that even kids. I mean, you have. I mean, there are kids out there that will automatically share what they have if they have more than one. And then there are kids out there that won't. And I don't know if that's because of their nature or because they don't. But this is the only planet we have. This is the only place we got. And this is the place that needs to have our full attention. Everything. Every resource. Money should not be a factor in fixing Fukushima, Daiichi plant. That should be the hugest, most ginormous thing we should be fucking priority. It should be the biggest priority. I mean, there's, fixing our lakes and our rivers, unpolluting things. I mean, there are places where I used to dive into lakes and go into rivers and streams and stuff that you can't go there anymore. There are signs that stick up that say, get the fuck out of here, because if you go in there, you're going to die, or you're going to get sick, or you're going to become ill. It's getting out of control. We don't have time. We don't have time to dick around with this candidate and that candidate that isn't doing it, that doesn't have that core belief of planet and inhabitants. Planet and inhabitants. If they don't have that core belief, then they shouldn't be legislating us to take care of us, because they don't care about it. All they care about is their pocketbooks. How in the fuck does Nancy Pelosi have $100 million as a senator? I mean, I want people to be to be wealthy, but you've got to give. You've got to share back. What happens when that happens? When you become greedy, what is it? I'm sure there's a psychological explanation for it, and I don't think anybody's created therapy for greed, which I think there should be classes for that. I think there should be classes for people that don't know how to share. I think there should be classes for people that don't know how to talk. And I'm not saying I'm not. I am not the professional at this. I have to learn a lot. I'm still learning about myself. As old as I fucking am, I still, when I'm talking to people I care about, adore, love, I still don't say the right things. I still mess up. And then sometimes when I'm talking to people in business relations, I still make mistakes. But if I make the mistake, I want to be able to come and circle back and say, look, I was wrong. I apologize. Let's move forward. What can we do to fix this? What can we do to resolve this? As a politician, you should always say, if you're a legislator, a judiciary, or an executive in the United States, the first thing you should say is, what do we need to do to keep us from fucking going to war? What do we need to do to keep us from dying from the pollution? What do we need to do to stop climate change? What do we need to do to stop the fossil fuel industry from lying to us about cars being great with fucking V8? I like V8 engines. My dream car is a 69 SS El Camino with a fucking surfboard sticking out of the back that's got a shark painted on the sides. That's my dream car. Maybe one day I might have that. And having those relics is fine, but we've got to move forward. There are electric vehicles out there right now that are just, they're crushing me. I've got a big truck with a big V8. that gets 13.5 miles to the gallon. And I can't, and some of these electric cars just blow me. No, they don't blow me. They fucking just kick my ass on the road. They handle better. They're quieter. I think they should have sound for these things. I think there should be like a law that should give them some kind of sound. Like they get to pick like V8 engine, maybe motorcycle sound, whatever the sound is. But I've almost been ran over by Priuses and Volts and electric cars on many occasions because I don't fucking hear them, man. There's another noise going on. All of a sudden, this guy stops. Just saying. So we need to start thinking in a Star Trek kind of way, right? Not in a Star Wars kind of way. You know, maybe a bit of both. Right? A bit of both. In a way that we should start to dramatically changing our decisions and our actions. Totally turning not left, not right, but up in a way just to get ourselves out of this rut we're in. We're so close to not. I mean, you're hearing it now that a lot of people are saying the damage is already done. It's totally irreversible. It's not completely true. Yes, there are some things that. I mean, there's like dozens of species per day that are dying due to the climate changes and pollution that we've created over time, which is bad. And a lot of things are happening that are terrible, but we can slow it down. We can give ourselves time, which is what we need to do, is give ourselves time. I don't want to live in a giant thing above the sky, in the sky, this giant structure that people think of. I forgot the name of it, but God, who was that girl that played in that? Was it Sissy Spacek? No, it wasn't Sissy Spacek. It was the one in. She played in this movie. They had this huge place. Alita's going to be like that. Alita, the new movie coming out, where everything on the ground is disgusting. It's like Armageddon isn't there, but it's just so bad. It's just unlivable. There's disease and famine, and it's just a Trump world, in my opinion, a Republican world, in my opinion, and in a sense a Democratic world, DCCC world and RNC world, because they want to live up here with everybody else down below. They don't want to deal with the people that are having a hard time. They don't want to deal with the people that are just not going through life well. And 99% of us are not feeling it. 99% of us are not feeling it. So, with this utopian type of city in the sky thing, and then everybody else on the ground that's going through chaos and turmoil and anarchy and shit, that could be a reality. Believe it or not. I'd like to see where we're saving our planet. We're saving our soil. We're making it last. We're starting to repair the reefs. We're starting to we found ways to limit the amount of CO2, to bring it back to or to start to reverse it in some way, or at least slow it down to where it's not moving so fast, so that there's a compound effect, or it's like a domino effect on steroids of what's happening to the world right now. And we're starting to see it because every year I'm hearing, and this has happened for the past 5 or 10 years, is that climate scientists, geologists, astrophysicists, I think that's it, astrophysicists. What are the guys that do the weather? I think it's the same thing. They keep telling us every year or two that they've made a miscalculation. It's worse than what they had originally predicted. 2 years later, it's worse than what we didn't take in effect, or they miscalculated, or it's 3 times worse, or it's 4 times worse. Well, what is happening is I've said it from the beginning. It's a domino effect of of a viral way. It's like one domino hits two dominoes hit three dominoes, and it just goes out, boop, 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 and it gets worse and worse, and it just expands to where it's getting, and these dominoes are getting bigger and more dangerous. You know, if you want to put it in that kind of analogy, I just know that we only have a plan A. The plan A that we have is take care of the planet. And if we don't have people that are competent, that don't have cognitive dissonance, that willfully want to fix it, have the core belief of saving the planet and all of its inhabitants, then we've got a chance. Then there is hope. Then we can fight. You know? Then we can just say, you know, money's not enough. Money is not an issue. Let's start putting people to work. Peace Corps or FEMA or get Greenpeace. Turn Greenpeace into a socialistic service that's out there that helps take care of the planet. I don't even know why Greenpeace is this non-for-profit fucking industry. It's stupid. Anyway. We should have a task force, not just of 5 people, not from people from the oil industry and a few people from the coal industry and a few people from the fucking fracking industry and the nuclear industry, right? We need real climate scientists. We need real people that botanists. We need real people that are out there doing what's necessary to save our souls, save our water, save our planet, save the air, and just bring it. But we don't have that. None of these fucking people out there that are your current legislators, and I'm talking even at the city, at the state, and the federal, national level, judiciaries, executives, and legislators, many of them don't give a shit. As a matter of fact, some of them, religion, the excuse, sorry, it's been that way since man wrote it up, since man created it, wrote the Bible. And sorry if I lost you on that, but no matter what I say, you need to understand this. There are people out there that think that Armageddon is real and the 4 horsemen are coming. And the apocalypse is near, and they're planning for it. They've just said, fuck it, I'm going to go get a dumpster, a cargo container, I'm going to stick it in the ground, I'm going to get a generator, filters, air transferring, solar, this, that, and I'm going to create a bunker because I know and I believe that fucking the dawn of the dead is coming, that a full apocalypse is coming. And that is just shameful. I'm not saying they're giving up, but it's just fucking, it's pathetic. And it speaks to, it should tell you that that's what we've projected into their minds. Hey, Gene. Hi. We need to give up consumerism. Hey, Christian. The movie is Elysium. Thank you. Jodie Foster. Yes. Fuck. Thank you, bro. And Alita is supposed to be... I can't wait to see that movie. I want to see that movie. I hope that's good. I hope they stay close to the story and don't get all Americanized. They stay Japanese with it. I hate when they do that. They Americanize it. That's not what people like them. Those fucking awesome anime and hentai movies. It's because it's different. Anyway, so it's simple. Find people that give a shit. Find people that actually care. Find people that are out there that actually are here, that really care about the planet. right? Just, I mean, and who are those people? You know what? I think I'm just going to show you who those people are. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Here they are. Here's the people. These are the ones that are definitely looking out and care about everybody. This is the party. I don't care what you say. Stop the stream real quick. I clicked them. These buttons are so close together. Fuck. All right, let's go to studio. Let me fix this. This is. All right, so these are the people I'm betting on. There's others out there like this, right? If you go here, let me. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. This is going to be good. Where is it? Hold on. Keep watching. Okay, so let's look at the pillars. Echo, nonviolence. I don't even freaking know it. Elections platform party. Hold on, party platform. Hang on. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pillars. Okay, now there's 5 pillars. For God fucking sakes. Okay. All right. Whatever. Okay. I thought there was 4. Okay. So these are the pillars, right? I think. Peace and nonviolence. So ecology, which is important, community-based sustainable economics, democracy and electoral reform, peace and nonviolence, social justice, and livable communities, which is a little general, but I think it's important to have that information. Let me see here. Yeah, there it is. Base, sustain economics, democracy, ecology, peace and freedom. Okay, hold on. Party, pressure, structure. Okay. But then there's the values, the 10 key values. And I'm not going to go by this one because we're trying to fix this. There's just a bunch of questions. So I'm going to go to this one right here, and I'm going to tell you what they are. Actually, Florida did it, and they did a really freaking great job. Oh, wait, here it is. Oh, sorry. I'll be there in a sec. Copy. It's still running, though, so I think. Okay, so these people don't take corporate donations. They don't take super PAC money or APAC money. They're actually going to be employed by you and totally by you to do what you want them to do, how you see fit. These people will work for you. Are you getting that? Right? I wonder if my stream's still on. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me transmission back. Are you guys getting that? I mean, is it still up? Green Party has 60 elected people in California. Very good too. At a small, that's good news. That's good, but I'm going to get to that in a second there, Gene. I like that name, by the way, Gene. Okay, so what I feel is important right now is for everybody to understand this. And this, I'm plugging the Green Party. I mean, I don't know where you're going to be to find the trust. I know who that is. Okay. If you want to trust a politician, what is the record of the Democrats? What's their record on trust? Keeping their word. Shitty. What about Republicans? Very shitty, right? These people have never had a chance to prove to you what they can do. ever. Give them the chance. Give them a shot. You know, if nothing is going to change at all unless we put in a third party. And it isn't going to be the Libertarian Party or fucking Gary Johnson and the Ayn Rand mentality. It's crap. I don't have a problem with libertarianism and parts of it. It's just the Libertarian Party is too fucking crazy for me. Okay? And there are some people that aren't as libertarian as they think they are. And there are some people that aren't as Republican as people think they are. And there are some people that aren't as democratic as people, DCCC, as people think they are. We're trying to attract more people. We are trying to make sure that the people that come into this party are welcomed, for sure. Maybe you're a little off. Maybe you have different candidates. Maybe you just think a little bit different. But the more you learn about the party, the more you hear about what we're trying to do. I mean, the biggest factor should be that we don't take corporate donations. The first thing we're going to try to do if we get into those offices is get rid of Citizens United, which the other two parties are never going to fucking talk about for more than it takes to say the fucking term, the title, which is the biggest oxymoron in the fucking world. Libertarians seem selfish. Wow. Are you a Green Party person there, Gene? Are you with the Green Party? Is that your real name? Some really have a pretty good idea. I think I know who that is. It seems a little Ericish to me. No, libertarians are not selfish, totally and completely. Maybe they just don't have the knowledge that the Greens do. I mean, the thing about the Green Party, when they started in '84, they really saw it back then. They really understood what was going on. And they said, we can't have this. They knew, it's almost like they knew before everybody where we were going to end up. And this is where we are. The other two parties don't give a shit about anything but themselves and their fucking donors, which aren't you. You're just the voters, which they trick into thinking that they give a shit about you, but they don't. Yes, Gene Green, the party received. Loving that. Okay. So if you are still thinking that the Dems are going to do something, are going to fix you, or going to help you, they're not. They are not. I put in everything when I see Justice Democrat, the first thing I think of, the first Ryan Bennett, the first thing I think of is definitely Pied Piper. Okay? They may not even know it yet. They may not even get that yet. I'm sure they've been perceived as that. But maybe nobody's really told them, hey, some people are perceiving you that you're just acting ultra progressive and using the word progressive over and fucking over and fucking over to where it seems like you're just branding yourself as a progressive just so you can bring people that actually are progressive, people that actually are ecologically conscious, people that are actually justice and equality conscious. You're just using that title, justice, in front of Democrat to stop us from believing that someday, which is their other option, they'll get co-opted. And if they aren't the Pied Piper to bring you back into the Democratic Party, okay, then they're going to get co-opted. Those are their options, or both. And if they fail to do those two things, I will guarantee you they won't get far. They may make it look like they're getting far. They might do a little something to push you over the edge to continue to be a registered voter with, a party that really hasn't done anything for you. I don't see single payer happening. You know, full comprehensive universal health care that everybody's been talking about, you know, since 2010 when they didn't do it and they brought Romney Care instead. Okay. And I know the Republicans don't give a shit about anybody because they don't. They fucking just don't. And they are the direct connections to the elite. They are the direct connections to uh, the plutocracy that's out there. They are uh, they're more fascist than I've seen, and the Democrats are just in a close second. And there's also people that act like that everywhere. You know, thinking that their beliefs, like for example, the Jim Jones thing. Oh, that guy should go. Yes, it's good that they took him away, but now they want to take other shows away. Lots of Democrats agree with that. Lots of, you know, Republicans agree with that. You know, it's a private company; they can do what they want. But if they have a platform like this that is very influential, I think it's up to the person to make their own decision whether they want to watch it or not. That's just the knowledge and how you've applied it in your mind. So you can either watch Alex Jones or you can watch uh, fucking Rachel Maddow, the fucking mad cow, crazy warmongering fucking bitch that she is, that she's become just sad, really sad. Or you can start paying attention to people like me, people like Jimmy Dore, people like We Are Change. I like that show. Truth Dig, um, Caitlin Johnson, Susie Dawson, um, Jamal Thomas, Susie Zilliger. Yes, believe it or not, Steve Grombine. I don't care what you said. The guy's, even though he's hell bent on MMT, which Steve, it's not going to happen tomorrow. I'm just saying it. Until you have another party in there, MMT won't be brought up at all, and the Democrats won't go for it. Neither will the Republicans. Well, maybe the Republicans will, which is kind of odd to me. But anyway, oh, Robert Schwartz. I wish New Mexico had an active Green Party. That would be nice. Yeah. So, and that reminds me of what I'm kind of talking about tonight. And again, let's get out and completely support the Green Party that actually gives a shit about you. Give them a chance. Give them a shot. These are people that, I mean, if you look at the 10 key values, you know, I'm going to read them. I'm going to read them for you because I want to. So let's go to the 10 key values. All right. So, you know, I think I'll post that on my Facebook and then I'll read it from there. And the Florida version is brilliant because it's short and to the freaking point. Okay. Short and to the point. Oh, shit. That's wrong. Hold on. Just a second. Just a second. Oh, what's my computer doing now? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, here we go. I like Florida's 10 key values for this very, very simple reason. It's short and to the point. Not a bunch of fucking questions like California's. Yes, I know you want to learn about our party, but let me ask you some questions and fucking make your head explode. All right. Florida's 10 key values. Social justice. Everyone should share in the fruits of our society, regardless of gender, race, sexual preference, class, age, or disability. We work for a world in which all can live free or fear of discrimination. Free of fear and discrimination. Free of fear. Okay, I don't know if I said right. And then ecological wisdom. This is number 2 of the 10 key values. Whatever we do to the web of life, we do to ourselves. We advocate stewardship of our resources for the continued health of our communities and our planet. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, that's short. Fuck. It's right there. Grassroots democracy, right? Citizens have the right and responsibility to participate in the environmental, political, and economic decisions that affect their lives. Let like ranked choice voting, right? Which is the Green Party's all about. That I mean, so you have an apple, orange, and a banana. You like the apple better than the orange or the banana, but your second pick would be the banana. So whoever gets the most votes, whether it's the first, second, or third pick, wins. So it's on a level of I kind of like I really like the guy or girl, or I really like the girl or the guy, or I kind of like the girl or the guy, and he's fine, she's fine. But at least you're giving them a better opportunity to be placed in office based on the real decision that needs to be made about choosing something. You choose something because you have all these other selections when you go down the aisle. You like you want to pick out. There's like 5, 10 different banana types out there, and they got organic. They got some from Mexico, some from here. All these other banana types. You've got different types of spaghetti sauces. You can take Hunt's, you can take Regalutos, you can take Butterminis or whatever. Okay, but you've evaluated and you said, well, I'll take this. Right now in my life, I will take this one. For sure, this is my top pick because I eat it, I like it all the time. My second choice would be this one, right? So even if that second choice got elected, you would still basically be somewhat satisfied. Are you getting that? So what ranked choice voting is really about is having options, not being singularly stuck on one candidate. Put that in your head, okay? Torque it in there, seal it, it's done. All right. Grassroots democracy, non-violence. We reject violence at all levels of society, from the family to the nation. We promote peace by working for justice and by advocating nonviolent resolution to conflict. This is how governments do things. This is what I was talking about. This is what I was fucking getting to. It's about, I'm not looking at the screen. To come in isn't up yet, by the way. But this is what I'm talking about when it comes to if your government does it, if your government, if its leaders, judiciaries, executives, and legislators, if they fuck up and can't come to some kind of agreement or some kind of bartering or some kind of solution to an issue with another country, and they go to war, that means they failed. War it has nothing to do with war has nothing to do with winning. It really doesn't. Because people fucking die. How is that winning? How is a child being blown up winning? Right? How is cities being destroyed winning? How is that fucking winning? Make America great again. No, you're just fucking killing people. And the military industrial complex thanks you for it. They thank you for it. They fucking love it. We just wrote a check for $708 billion. $90 billion of it is going to a big chunk of it is going to 90 freaking F-35s, because we need more jets. We need more jets. We've actually we do. Not like that, though. We have created so many fucking friends over the decades. Everybody, you have no idea how many people fucking hate our guns, especially in the Middle East. Especially in the Middle East. People in Europe are starting to understand that too. We are really digging a giant hole for ourselves, and it's 6 feet fucking deep. It's 6 feet fucking deep. I am telling you, the UN, other countries, the world, Bilderberg, G20, G10, all these fucking meetings, if we keep sending fucking morons like Donald Trump out to make real estate deals. I mean, I'm not saying it was a terrible deal. That I'm not saying that we shouldn't have what the fuck is that called? Diplomatic meetings. You know, we should be very respectful and genuine, and there should not be. The problem is there's always a dollar sign when it comes to all this. There's money, and basically that's the only reason why these meetings actually happen these days. Is sadly because somebody's going to get some kind of resource, or somebody else is going to get some kind of resource, whether it's oil, whether it's a mineral, whatever the fuck it is, land, control, power. There's always somebody else gets the shitty end of the stick because nobody meets together. I'd like to see in Star Wars where, the United Federation of Planets get together and they have their talks. Would be nice, Keep your religion, keep your country, keep your, whatever you want to do, that's fine. But at least talk. Use your fucking words, right? That's the goal. Use your words. All right, let's keep going here. I can go on with that forever. Non-violent. So the goal is non-violent. Is we have to mend relations with a lot of countries out there. I don't, and I like the fact that Trump went to North Korea. Fucking Obama didn't do that. I like the fact that Trump went out and talked to Putin. I like that. Now, the reasons why, the real intentions behind the meetings, I don't trust at all. I don't. I like the fact that it was done from a perspective of the media, just seeing the picture. Looks great, but we don't know the exact details of what they're trading or bartering or negotiating for that to happen. There's something's happened. I don't trust it. I haven't for a long time. You shouldn't either. Always question your politicians. That's our job. Always keep that in your head too. Also, the nonviolence. Okay, decentralization. Concentration of wealth and power in the hands of a few contributes to social and economic injustice, as well as environmental destruction. We call for the return of local decision-making within an overall framework of ecologically sound, socially just values. Okay, I'm trying to get what that is. Concentrated wealth and power in the hands of contributors. Well, I get that. Decentralization. Okay, what that's actually saying is there's a handful of people that control 60+% of the wealth on the planet. Just a handful. I mean, you count them on your fingers. That control 60% of the wealth on the planet. And there's almost 8 billion people in the world, right? And there's just a handful that control mostly everything. That's just, fuck. I mean, you have to look at that picture. So, that's a lot of fucking money. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of influence. They made people lick shit off the floors, literally, guaranteed. They've made people kill others. They've made people fucking do the sickest, most disgusting and heinous things. I guarantee you. These people are sick and disgusting. There has to be a way that this has got to stop. Because Elysium, or the movie that Jodie Foster was in, or Alita, where these people live in the sky and everybody's on the ground, this is their life. This is what they want. This is their utopia. This is their goal. And if you allow this to keep happening with these two fucking parties that don't give a shit about you, then keep going in that direction and watch it happen. Watch famine and chaos and death and destruction just plague the surface of the planet while they start building these giant rotating things in the sky or shit. Who knows? But it's not far fetched. It's not far fetched. I can say this. I can say this is that they're out there. They control people like you wouldn't believe. They make the decisions on what you see, what you watch, what you hear, how you feel. And that affects how you feel. And that affects if you hate. That affects if you like. They love it when we're against each other. We're not focusing on them. Because we should. We should focus on the connection between our supposed governmental leaders and that connection of these elitist people. That should be cut. That umbilical, it's not even umbilical cord anymore. It's like a fucking giant pipeline. That should be cut. Nobody's talking about Citizens United. Nobody's talking about McCutcheon versus the FEC. I do know that the Green Party, that's one of the first things they're going to attack. Campaign finance reform, not in the Republican sense and not in the Democratic sense, in the sense of completely removing money from politics. I guarantee you that if you remove money from politics and all you're getting paid is $173,000 a year to be a senator, most of them will fucking quit. Oh, I'm not feeling good. I've had enough of my fucking reign on terror, death, and destruction and not caring about people for 20 fucking years. I'm out of here. When the real reason is money's gone. Right? The other thing is that they shouldn't be lobbyists. That won't be necessary. You take the money out of politics, what are you lobbying for? Right? Of course you're going to still have lobbying bodies. You know, a long time ago, back before they rigged the system or the elite helped to rig the system, you used to be able to walk into Congress as a citizen. You were able to walk out of your house, you know, pet your dog, go down the street into Congress, wait in line or not, maybe there wasn't a line, and talk to the legislators. Have your chance at the podium. Tell them your gripe. Not anymore. Not anymore. And when you have fucking like APAC and Wall Street and big coal, big oil, big pharma, big Silicon Valley, you know, and these lobbying, what are they called? Sharks. Lobbying sharks. I don't even say they're sharks. I'd say they're not sharks. Sharks is too nice for them. I think they're lobbying. The words in my head. Con men. They're all con men. They're the delivery person of mafias. They're the people that lobby, the lobbying leader. I don't know what that person is, but that's the person that goes to the senator or the representative of a state and says, I'm going to help, I'm going to make sure that you're going to get $50,000 in your campaign next year so you can run. I'm also got some people that know some people for your college, for your daughter and your son, to get them into Harvard or into Yale or into Brown or whatever, or into USC or fucking Notre Dame or Alabama, whatever. I've got some connections here and connections there. These people, oh, that's what they are. They're like fucking, this is a lobbyist leader. There's a name for them, but this is it. They're the concierge of the giant hotels. That's what they are. So when the whales come in, right, which are these legislators, judiciaries, and executive, city, state, and federal level, they go in. They're at work. They're in the city, or they're in the nation, doing their jobs or whatever. And these concierges, or they're like personal assistants or something. There's a name for these fucking people, and I should be watching my. God, there was a show about it. Elizabeth Warren's new bill. Yeah, it's stupid. Yes, there was a way to see the educated public about it. It was hilarious. Ridiculous. Hope you're still streaming in 15. Yeah, I'm streaming. I'm streaming. I'll be streaming. I'll be a streaming. Definitely, I'm going to be streaming. Okay, so these people take care of these whales. They take care of the legislators, judiciaries, and executives. They make sure they have masseuses. They make sure they have carte blanche at the best restaurants in the hotel. They make sure they're very well taken care of, and they massage them, and to keep them there, to keep them in their hotel. Does that make sense? I forgot the name of these fucking people. There's a position. I think they're like concierges assigned to whales that come into hotels. There was a show about it that used to happen. Like a sitcom, I forgot. Vegas. The show Vegas that used to come on, right? Anyway, so that's what happens. And this is the problem. Because there's that connection. Because they can have access to them. Because they pay off this person, and they live on the hill. These people, every day, they wake up and they've got shifts where they go in and they make sure that they're going to have their legislation pushed, their bills passed, their executive orders signed. And they put a lot of work and a lot of money into this and out there to make sure this is happening. But like I said, take away the fucking money, what happens? They'll disappear. All the fucking greedy bastards that are in Congress, most of them will be gone. Most of them will just fucking leave this, But the only way that's going to happen is if you have a third party. Period. A third party. Period. That's the only way that's fucking going to happen. All right, let me go back to the list. Almost done. The essential vision. Okay. Community-based economics. Greens seek a new economics based upon the natural limits of the earth, which meets the basic needs of everyone on the planet, and it's under democratic, centralized community control. Greens seek a new economic based upon. I need to fix the wording on that. Greens seek a new economics based upon the natural limits of the earth, which meets the basic needs of everyone on the planet, and is under democratic, decentralized community control. Yeah, everybody votes on if we should save the ocean. It's not up to just a few fucking people. Got it. That's good. No, that's good. That could actually be an economic wisdom. I mean, you could actually condense a lot of this. But anyway, respect of diversity. We honor the biodiversity of the earth and the cultural, sexual, spiritual diversity of Earth's people. We aim to reclaim this country's finest ideals: popular democracy, the dignity of the individual, and liberty and justice for all. Whoa! Liberty and justice for all. That sounds a little libertarian to me. Yeah, but yeah, fuck yeah. The right to peace and freedom, of course. Respect for God's good, personal and global responsibility. Okay, Greens. Okay, no, let me see. Decentralization, this is community-based economics. It's urban. Okay, gender equity. The Green Movement is profoundly inspired by feminism. We call for an ethics of cooperation and understanding to replace the cultural values of domination and control. I get it, but that's a little vague. Definitely, yeah. But I will say this, and I know I'm right on this, that if I'm in a fire and I'm 285, 280 pounds. I used to be 270. I've gained some weight. That's why I went back to the gym, baby. But anyway, right after I'm done with this list, I'm almost done. Um, I don't see a 140-pound woman pulling me out of a fire. Now, it's not my fault I'm like this. This is because of McDonald's and their fucking commercials. I'm telling you, and the coupons that I get for Jack in the Box. It's just not fair, man. But anyway, my point is she going to get paid the same amount as a guy that's 220 pounds and that could easily throw my body over his back and fucking carry me out of a fire? Yeah. I, if they're doing the same job, I think there should be some equality there, right? But they're risking their lives as well. I do believe that, when I'm thinking about this, hasn't really hit me in a while. Um, she's risking her life. She's going to do whatever she can to save me. I know she will. Yeah, if she's in the same type of job, same physical requirements needed, if she can pass the test and pull the body, drag it, wheel it, fucking put grease on the floor and slide me out of there, whatever. But yeah. So if you're doing the same job now, let's just say you're doing the same job, yet you have less responsibility by far, or a good amount, or maybe the location you work at doesn't have as many employees that you're in charge of. Of course, yeah, there should be some difference in pay. So, like the girl that's working at let's just say, for example, like a Little Caesars, and has 20 employees per the day, and another one that only has like 8 employees for the day. Well, the one that has 20 employees is a bigger location, should probably make a little bit more, but they don't anyway, which sucks. All right, back to this. Respect for diversity. We honor our biodiversity of the earth and the cultural, sexual, and spiritual diversity of Earth's people. We aim to reclaim this country's finest ideals, popular demand. Did that already come up? And dignity of individual liberty and justice. No, that already came up, so I kind of skipped that one. I think that I put that in there twice. Oh, sorry. Personal and global responsibility. Greens are committed to global sustainability, international justice through both political solidarity and personal lifestyles based on ecological principles and democratic values. Future focused sustainability. For the sake of the seventh generation, we seek to create a society which meets the needs of everyone within the natural limits of the earth. I don't know what the seventh generation is. I guess I should know that. Okay, so everything was pretty cool here until it just got really strange. Maybe I didn't copy all of them. Anyway, that's what if you dissect all that, now let me go ahead and put the thing in here. Boop, boop, boop. Where is it? Oh, shit. Oh, there it is. So people can come in and say hi. Maybe Gene will show up, right? Maybe Gene will stop by. That would be amazing. Come on, Gene. You can do it. All right, so it's in there. I'm going to put it in the middle. That's what I'm putting. Now, I'm just going to, now it's in there. And I think I'm just going to hit refresh. Maybe it's saying change you may not be saved, so I'm not going to do that. Oh, you know what? I'll put it in here. In the 2020, Ventura 2020. It's going to be in there for people to come in. And I'll put it on, and I will put it on Twitter as well. All right, I'm going to show you guys a really disturbing video. All right, but anyway, that's it. So that's all. In regards to what definitely needs to happen and why you need to go green. I mean, I just laid it out for you. We're going to find out. The great thing about Green Party people is they actually, a good majority of them, not all of them, actually are very, what is the word? Flexible. You know, they get it. They're flexible because they should be. Because with only 250,000 registered Green Party people in the United States, registered voters and Green Party registered voters in the United States, they should be fucking flexible. As a matter of fact, they should be tying their legs together, they should be so flexible. They should be like Stretch Armstrong or fucking Plastic Man or fucking the Fantastic Four, Stretch Man or whatever the fuck his name is. For sure. Because they don't have a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely need to do that. So I put in the Twitter also. Who's up? Who's here? Let's see at the live chat. Robert's here. Now it's Gene R. Schwartz. Gene James, you have read through. I heard about Elizabeth Warren's new bill. No. Air Force Max is here. Hey, Air Force. No, I wanted to bring up something. Let me see. It is kind of early. It's early. That's good. That's good. All right. So let's talk about. I got to bring this up. The Green Party is great. There's so many great things about it. There's so many great people in it. But there's some people in there that are all about participation medals. Soccer moms that like the participation medals. They're about, believe it or not, in the Green Party, there are winners and there are losers. There are people that win, people that want people to win, and people that don't like losing. Okay? So there was a comment I received from somebody, a prominent figure in California, and I'll just kind of read what he says. James, let me see. The Green Party have been lying. I've been trying to explain. The Green Party is not chasing the ridiculous fantasy of winning the presidency. This is a very prominent person in the Green Party. Again, the Green Party is not chasing the ridiculous fantasy of winning the presidency when we do not yet have ranked choice voting. Okay? It isn't possible. It wouldn't even be possible if we ran a candidate like Ventura. Okay? Far too many new people to the party like you fixate and obsess on the presidential race when it is by far the least important effort that the Green Party engages in. It's simply a necessary task, not a priority for winning. If you continue with this win-lose mentality instead of focusing on building the party, you won't last long in it, which is a threat. I don't know if that was Gene or whoever, but I don't want to laugh, but I do want to say it's comical. It's comical, and this is what happens when you haven't competed. I played D1 football, right? I fucking coached Little League and fucking National Junior Basketball and YMCA basketball. And I know what it feels like to lose. It sucks. I know what it feels like to win and win championships. I know what it feels like to win a game over an adversary that you've been working on it to try your best to give it everything you got to win. Winning is good. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it is very good for you. Losing is also good for you, but you have to show up. That's the key. You will not be a viable, prominent, or dignified, respectable party if you're not fucking going for it. If you're not fucking going for it. If you're not trying to fight. If you're not trying to win, then why do you have a political party? Why on earth do you have a political party if you're not trying to win? If you're not trying to win the presidency? If you're So why even have 27 ballot access places for the presidency then? If that's not what you're trying to do. That fucking completely makes no sense to me. You heard it. You heard it. Green Party is not chasing the ridiculous fantasy of winning the presidency. What does that say to the people that want to join the party? What does that say? What does that say to somebody that says, you know what? I really like the Green Party. I like the 10 key values. I like the fucking 5 pillars that are out there. I like everything they represent. As a matter of fact, I understand that the rest of the world needs to catch up to what this party is about. But you guys don't want to go for the presidency? It's a ridiculous fantasy. We won't do it until ranked choice voting. So we're just not even going to try? There's no other way to decipher what I just read. There is no other way. When somebody like that writes that in there, no, of course, Ryan, you're right. Why not try both? Why? Of course, you want to go after the city level, you want to go after the county level, you want to go after the state level, you want to go after federal, national, and the world and the fucking universe level. This is what we need to think of. This is why we need people that want to win, that understand that there's a. You know what I tell my kids? This is what I tell my kids. Because I was a redshirt linebacker at the University of Hawaii. And sadly, I didn't stay there. But I was doing pretty good. Palomar College, was there for a little while, played football. Played high school football. So I'm just letting you know that it's a battle. Even if I played tennis, it's a fucking battle. I am not going to just give up. I am going to try to win. We will not excel as a party if we aren't trying to win. At every level. I'm not just talking about the city and the state or just a representative or just a senator. I'm talking about the whole fucking ball of wax, the big cheese. What are you telling everyone that looks at the party and says, you know, I like the party, but they just don't have the fucking drive. They're just so negative. They don't have the. It just seems like they're just not going to go anywhere because they don't think about a bigger picture. They don't envision seeing that happen. You have to, if you strive for it, like I'm saying, I tell my kids, you have to strive for it. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep fucking pushing. And one day you're going to beat that guy on the other side of the ball. One day you're going to steal that ball and dunk. One day you're going to fucking score that touchdown. One day you're going to stack that quarterback. One day you're going to fucking ace on that serve and win that. And it's going to be fucking game, set, match. One day you're going to pin those shoulders to the ground on that wrestling match. But you've got to fucking try. Okay? Team handball. Jesus, fuck. No, a person that does a lot of, I think, great work for the party. And I'll just say this again. Wrote this, okay, and this is just amazing. I can't believe I heard this. The Green Party is not chasing the ridiculous fantasy of winning the presidency when we don't have ranked choice voting. It isn't possible. It wouldn't even be possible if we ran a candidate like Ventura. Far too many new people, speaking of me, to the party like you, fixate and obsess on the presidential race when it is by far the least important effort that the party engages. It's simply a necessary task, not a priority of winning. If you continue, and then the threat, if you continue with the win-lose mentality instead of focus on building a party, you won't last long in it. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. I'm going to post it up on my Facebook. All right? I'm going to post it on my Facebook. Actually, I'm going to put in a message to Twitter so people can see it. Where is it? 5. Okay. Oh, darn it. Oh, crap, somebody's here. Hola. All right, I'm coming right out. Shit. Come on. Oh, let me fix the gallery there. Hi, Stevie. Welcome to Montauk. It's no longer Montauk with James. It's no longer James with Montauk. It's just Montauk. I know you like that. It's cool, huh? Anyway.
Oh, I had to mute my YouTube. I couldn't figure out which tab was playing sound.
All right, so I'm putting what this person said in, wait, this here, and then I'm going to put it on my Facebook. Did I say the person's name? It's fucking ridiculous. You know, dude.
Yeah, I missed what this is. What message you got? Did you get you got feedback on the presidential election or?
What do you mean? Feedback from somebody or?
Well, about getting serious about a candidate.
Yeah, I keep getting some fucking nutball who keeps telling me that his candidates, this is his candidates. I'm going to say it's Eric fucking Brooks. It just keeps going. It's ridiculous. This is what he says. I'm just going to, you can read it on. I'm just going to put it up. Let me just transition here. And this is what he said. I got to fix that. I've got to edit it. But if you can read it. Are you reading it?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to.
Okay. Let me know when you're done.
So, wait a second. He's saying that it's not possible to run a presidential candidate?
It says it is impossible.
Okay. Well, is that then why do they have a presidential committee? I'm very confused.
I am very exactly. Why did Jill Stein run for president?
Yeah, I could have sworn that
Why did Ralph Nader run for president?
This okay. Well, that needs to be a statement that we are not interested in national politics. I mean, we don't really want power or,
Yeah.
you know, we want to play it low key.
Yeah, we just want just little, I just want to get like a city council member in for the Green Party. I don't really want to fucking, just too much work, right? I just don't want to get my hands dirty. No blisters.
Now, I can understand if it's a money type thing, if they want to focus on a certain specific area and try to raise, you know, awareness in a certain area and spend their funds that way.
Right.
But I don't think they're going to be doing that either, or spending their time, because I mean, it's not like there's any funds. So I mean, I guess it's a time thing that they're not chasing this. I don't get it. Why is it impossible? I mean, that's why people don't join, is because even people in the Green Party are like, well, yeah, we're never going to win. Who wants to follow somebody like that? Who wants to join a party where we already accept defeat before we even try? I just don't get it.
That's perfect. You've said it wide. If, let's just say, here's an example.
You're still screaming. Oh, there you
Here's
go.
an example. There's a school that my kids' football team just played. It's called Long Beach Jordan, and they don't have enough kids to play on both sides of they don't have enough kids, period, because of this little private school. And they keep bringing these kids out. Like last year they had 33 kids. A football team takes like 65 kids to make a football team. At least 60. At least 60. So every year these kids come out, and they've been doing it for a decade or so now, for a long time, and they play these juggernaut teams with kids that play throughout the whole entire game. They don't rest. They play special teams. They play kickoff. They play offense, defense. Some of the kids that play, the seniors play for the JV and vice versa, because they don't have enough people in the school to make an actual team, but they keep doing it. And they keep fighting. And I feel sorry for them. And they don't give up. They want to win a championship one day. They want to win a division champ. I don't think they've ever won a division championship, but they fucking they're still there. They've got good basketball team. They've got other sports, school sports, that don't require large groups of people, right? But what's great about that school is they're not giving up. They're still going. I like the fact that they fucking do that. It sucks for the
Can
kids.
you imagine if their coaches were like, well, kids, you know we're going to lose. Don't get your hopes up, all right? I mean, it's an uphill battle where it's really not worth the effort. And just be prepared to lose. Don't give it 100% because, what's the point? Like that's the pep talk we're getting from the Green Party right now.
That's the pep talk we're getting. This is the motivation we're getting from the fucking leader of this guy. That should be automatic grounds for you're fired as a coach. You just should not be here. If that's your fucking mentality, you should not be here.
And then like people are questioning Jesse's loyalty to the party when it doesn't seem like they're very loyal. We're like, we're a bunch of fucking losers,
That is the perfect, exactly. I could guarantee you that if you
like, why do people want to fight for them when they're not willing to fight for themselves? It's like I don't know, but their values are aligned with mine. I know I speak ill about the Green Party more and more frequently, but I just see problems that I find concerning. Oh, Snork's in the green room.
Yeah, that's in the waiting room. Yeah. So that's why we discuss these things. Because we really want to point out, oh shit, Chad's there too. Shit. Sorry guys. Dude, you just text me. Okay. So sorry. Thank you. Okay. you guys want to? Did you read it? I'm gonna post it, and you guys got to see. This is the fucking most alarming thing I've ever seen in a political party in my life, or when it comes to being a part of a team, being a part of a company, being a part of anything. You guys, it's fucking just insanity. This is literally insanity. There is no reason. Okay, I'll put it in the chat here.
I saw your tweet.
What was that?
I saw your tweet.
Oh, you did? Did you? That was it.
Okay.
So, Snork, did you play sports? Were you in any clubs where you were trying to win anything, or? I mean,
yeah, I was in basketball. I was in track, and I was in cross country.
Awesome. So here's the thing: your coach comes up and he says, "It's not possible. We're not going to win. It's." He comes up and he says to you, "It's a ridiculous fantasy to win the championship because we don't have the right suits, we don't have the right sneakers, we don't have whatever his fucking excuse is."
Which really, we don't have the right fucking coach. So that motherfucker needs to shut his mouth, basically.
Actually, I did come from like that. The quote in our school paper when I moved to town in the 9th grade was that, and they found out that I would play on basketball, and I was on like the C team of my junior high's basketball team. I was not fantastic. But the actual quote from the coach in the town newspaper was, "Well, we're never going to win any games with 4 feet or 4 foot Norwegians. Finally, we have somebody tall that's actually played with black people."
But your coach was not like, your coach never told you guys those types of words, right?
He put it in the newspaper.
I don't know, man. That sounds pretty bad.
That is pretty bad.
It was so bad that on the 20th anniversary or 30th anniversary too, they repeated the quote in the paper as the most memorable quote of the year.
Oh my God! So here's a question. What happened to that coach?
Was his name Sandusky? No.
No, he left for some reason. About a year or two after.
Okay, well, there's probably good reason for that. So, did you win any championships?
No.
Okay, there's my point. Okay, so when I was in high school, my junior year, we took the state championship, not the state, but not the prep bowl, which is the state championship, but the game before that, right? Which was pretty fucking awesome. And then the year after, our coaches left, and then everybody sucked. Everybody sucked. It was terrible. So it is important to have the right leaders, the right coaches, the right directors in that team. Phil Jackson, the fucking Zen guru of the Lakers. He left. What happened to the Lakers? Any championships? Right? So if you don't have the right people on the podium talking about the right things, doing the right things, sitting at the right message, you're going to lose people.
Yes, and on the other hand, that leadership also needs to be making plans. What are we going to do if this many people vote? What are we going to do if we lose this state but win this one? What do we do if we win these positions? How do we keep advancing and get ahead? And all the parties right now are all doing such stupid things.
I mean, with an attitude like that, they might as well be Democrats. I
Yes.
mean, that's what Democrats do. They're just like, well, we're losers. Go ahead,
No.
Republicans. Like with that attitude, that's I feel
Not
like
only
more in line with them.
Not only that, but you got to vote for us because we're green.
Oh God.
Yeah, vote. Well, I was trying to come up with something green, no matter who, but I don't know. But,
Yeah, vote green. You're going to rot anyway.
yeah, like it's backwards, and it's everything that they say that they are. That's what I'm finding out too. Like even the factions, like I'm saying, even this whole hard news network shit, like dealing with that and seeing how they operate is the same shit, because it's little groups, little people, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if somebody's in the wrong or somebody's an asshole. You know, you if you're not in that little group, or if you don't play by that little group's thing, then you know you don't get anywhere, and then everybody's against everybody. But I don't know. With that situation, it's like I feel like, you know, you see some people that they want the right things, but again, they don't.
What
they don't
happened? Just go ahead and see what we're talking about. What happened
with them,
with the Green News Network?
basically, they told me, "Hey, Chad, you know, come in, you know, basically run the social media shit." So I said, okay. I said, I got some ideas. I even had a logo already, an idea sent over. And then he's like, okay. As soon as I sent that over, he was like, we're going to have a thing tonight. We're going to vote. So basically they voted me in to do this thing. So they voted me in. I said, okay, cool. I said, you know, I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, just do your thing, basically. Do your thing. And I specifically said, I'm going to work on a logo and try to come up with some new branding ideas. So, the next day or the day after, I mean, it was right away because I got the shit back and I was working on it, and I went in. They add me to all the admin to Green News Networks, right? So I go in, I fucking change the logo, change the shit, even on the pages. That shit looks so clean, so clean. I'll show you guys here in a minute. The one.
Yeah, show us.
Oh, if it looks anything like that one website you showed us, I bet it looks really good.
Yeah, that one website for Ventura is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Well, see, I didn't do the website. I just did like a new logo, because I felt like, okay, your logos is electric green, but it's the CNN logo with a G instead of a C. You know, so I was like, that's the first thing. Like, you got to do your something separate, you know, to separate here. I'm finding out. And well, anyways, I put it up there and changed everything. Then that Joe Manchin guy fucking, I mean, flipped his fucking lid. Like, who gave you the authority to do it? Now, and I'm like sitting here, I'm like, you know, I didn't say anything for a minute, like in the chat or whatnot, because I'm like, okay, well, isn't that what you brought me in here? You guys told me just to do that shit. Bob's in the Schultz is in the lobby. So I said, okay. So what? So I finally said, okay, well, that's what they told me to do. And they're like, oh, we have to vote on it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, so anyways, long story short, they voted on it. Like, Harsh started it up, a little vote. And I won the vote. Like, even Tony in the morning voted because he was asleep by this time. Anyways, you know, Joe was like talking shit and stuff like that. And we were kind of going back and forth. He's like, it looks like one in, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, so I'm like, dude, like, you got to give it a chance. And so the next day, you know, I didn't hear anything back. It was like later on.
Who said blah, blah, blah? Who said blah, blah, blah?
Joe Manchin. Joe
Manchin.
Yeah, he's the one that's running for Ohio House. He's the one.
He did not like it, or didn't something?
No, he didn't like it. First of all, he didn't like that I changed it. He's like, who gave you the authority? And I'm like, that's what the whole conversation was about. So basically, they told me to do all this stuff, and then as soon as I got hit with any kind of thing, then I'm like, okay, well, I'm supposed to be nice. Anyways, so we ended up we kind of got into it a little bit, and you know, because he was like trying to like say all this kind of stuff. And that's what I'm saying. So the next day, Tony even voted on it in that poll, because it was in the Facebook poll. So I'm like, okay. So I said something about it. So what's the deal with the new logo? And then Joe is like, he's like, you gotta do a new one or something like that. I said, I did a new one, but you guys changed it back. He's like, well, you need to do it different, and yours sucks. And I was like, mine sucks. I said, your fucking attitude sucks. Your shit sucks. Why don't you fucking comb your hair and fucking tuck in your shirt before you want to tell me about my shit suck? Anyway, so I ended up going after him because he was being a dick on purpose. Like, oh, blah, 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 talking shit. So, and then everybody was like, you know, Chad, oh, you got to give him like respect. And I'm like, dude, like, this is how you're running shit, is you're letting this guy, first of all, like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He doesn't even comb his goddamn hair.
Hold on. This is the problem with the Green Party, is nobody's running shit.
No, dude, he was on Fox News. I'm so embarrassed by his dude. You know what the title was on Fox News? They said, okay, running or whatnot. Joe Manchin, it said, thinks his relatives are aliens. His ancient relatives are aliens. That was what they used. They found like an old post about something, and dude, it was just, they railroaded his ass.
Wait. So Joe Manchin at one point in his life.
No, this is on like 2 days ago, last week. This happened.
No.
Because
I'm just getting to it. So at some point in his life, said, my parents are aliens.
No, he said something about ancestors are aliens or something like that, or something. I don't know.
Probably some like spiritual, like, oh, we're all
Like
just
ancient aliens kind of thing.
Yeah, something. I don't know. And I see, and I was like, okay, well, all you
Does it
do
have
is
anything to do with meteors?
well, I was gonna say, all you had to do is we're all made of stardust. You could have handled it. Anyways, the guy was so. Anyways, I let him have it, and Harsh ended up kicking me out of the group because out of the chat, just the chat, because he was like trying to like keep everything from, you know, and then because other people were chiming in, and I'm like, no, you're not gonna tell me to come in. This guy disrespect me and expect me to be like, okay, it's all right for you to talk like that. No, motherfucker, your shit sucks. You suck. I mean, comb your hair before you're gonna tell me about what sucks. So this is what let me finish before I even show you this. So before that, okay, so he kicked me out, just the chat, right? Just like the regular chat. There's a bunch of people in there. And I'm like, okay, fine. And I talked to Harsh, and I'm like, cool. You know, I was like, let's just wait till they vote because they're supposed to vote on Friday, right?
So you're not totally out.
Well, I wasn't, right? So I'm just hanging around. Like, I'm just waiting because what am I going to do, right? Like, you're not even letting me, you know, I haven't talked to Tony, and it's just weird. It's like you guys voted, but you didn't vote. Now you're voting, and this guy's talking, and like, I'm just going to wait for the vote. Like, do your thing. So, well, 2 days ago, Tony just said something, I guess since we lost Chad or whatnot, blah, 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 that he made Independent Outsider do for something, and then made somebody else for something, and just boom, kicked me out. And then I sent him a message. I'm like, dude, like, what, you don't even have, you know, the courtesy to say something to me. So anyways, the whole thing, I'm blown away about the pettiness, and I'm gonna wait till after Friday they vote or whatnot, because the thing is, Harsh has been cool the whole time. You know what I mean? Harsh is cool, you know, and he's talked to me, and he's had my back. But I mean, I understand, like, Joe's been since the beginning. Basically, that's the whole point. Is Joe's been in the beginning. He's allowed to be an asshole.
He's been with the party for a long time.
No, we're just talking about the GNN, the network. Just the GNN, the news network, the one that, like, Tony Smith, Harsh is, you know, involved.
Right.
So, you know, I'm like, well, so what? He's been there. So that's why you guys are stalled. You know what I mean? That's why you wanted to bring me in, right? You want somebody to come in and help boost shit. I mean, so I'm saying it's corny. Like, how do you want me to tell you? My expertise is my expertise. So for me coming out, I get it. He's like the logo, the first time I saw it, I recognized it. I'm like, yeah, you recognize it because it's the CNN logo, lime green, electric green, with a G instead of the N. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm like, it's cool, do your thing, but like, if I thought you guys really wanted to take this to the next level and have some polish about it. So this is what I came up with.
I get you. They're not branding themselves; they're branding somebody else.
Well, and it's like they're like, come on, man, it's like a family thing. So this is what I come up with.
I like that.
So like, and then the whole thing though is he was saying that it says just a GN, and the way it is,
that kind of makes sense.
Well, I mean, I said okay. Then he said it's a GV. I'm like, I get it, but it's a monogram logo. So you see the G's got one line, so there's the N right there. and then you have the double N. That's supposed to be like, and I was like, I said, I get it. But the point being is that it's not like you can't make that. Like, if people are going to have the conversation, good, let them talk about that.
That just sounds like you wanted to tweak it a little bit. I mean, like I like the way it's set up for sure. And I see what you're saying about the double N part, but I mean, that just seems like a very quick kind of fix to that. And instead of reverting back to the old logo, because that old logo does need to go.
Well, and it wasn't just that. It was, I mean, he was pissed off that somebody changed it and they didn't ask, or it was.
Well, you weren't given clear instructions. That you thought you were doing what we were brought in to do.
Right.
You can't fault you for that.
And that's what I said. I said, if you don't like it, if it gets voted out, cool. But you're not gonna sit there and tell me that it. I mean, I get it. You don't like it, and you don't look at it that way. And I said it's art direction. You gotta produce this stuff. He's like, well, it's not an art page. This is a media page. And I'm like, yeah. So if you go to anybody that runs shit, they're gonna say you have to have, it's got to be produced. It's got to look good. Yet I have themes. So it's like trying to argue with that, and I had to let the guy know about himself, and so I guess then there goes the point where it shows they just operate the same way as the Green Party. So Tony Smith, ends up, again, they get butt hurt and then they join butts. And then they're like, okay, let's stick together and be butt buddies. And rather than saying, hey man, you stepped out of line, that's why I called him Uncle Joe. I said, you guys talk to Uncle Joe. He said something. I thought it was all settled or this is what Tony said. I thought it was all settled when you disrespected Joe. I said, you mean when Joe disrespected me? Yeah. Because that's what the fuck happened. So, I mean, it's just corny. It's just corny. It's like,
I'd like to get Joe's, just not to cut you off, but here's the thing, and I've said this over and over with this party, and sadly, there's so few amount of people in the party that there's going to be these little fucking stupid squabbles. I'm not saying, you see what I'm saying? There's better, bigger, fucking more intensely important issues out there, like winning the fucking presidency, and taking the Senate and that fucking House or whatever that needs to happen, instead of somebody saying, oh, that's not going to work or whatever.
Just basic.
Yeah, it's basic stuff. So the way Joe approached that, is that a guy I want fucking running my country?
Dude, I mean, wait,
no,
I don't even know what he looks like? Have you seen his picture?
But I'd like to hear his story. Hold on. I've already showed it.
Oh.
I showed him and his fucking crazy ass hair. But the thing is I think these, and I've tried to get people to come in my show to settle their differences. They don't have to do. I don't recommend public. I recommend privately. I'll be a moderator, where you get 3 minutes to talk, and then you've said your point, then somebody has their point. I'm not going to judge or be jury, but these things need to stop. What needs to happen is, if you have somebody the guy pulled a power trip on you. That's what he did.
Basically.
He's running for Congress with a fucking party that, what state is he in? I'm sorry, what state was that?
Ohio.
Which probably has like fucking 18 fucking green registered people, right? Who believes that he has the authority to say, you suck, or fuck you, or you don't get it, or you. This is what bothers me the most about the people in this party, is they don't have the fucking authority to say shit, because they honestly really don't have a fucking party.
You know what it is? And this is the way Harsh said it.
That's what I'm trying to fix.
Well, and Harsh, because it's think about it. It's the way they look at it. It's a star mentality. And this is the way Harsh said it. It's like Joe is like their little star. So it's like the person that they know that has a little bit of juice is like, they're like, okay, well, I'm going to listen to that person with a little bitty juice, rather than, okay, recognizing some real and saying, okay, well, maybe we can get some real juice if we have a real motherfucker speaking up, real person, and that's the same thing with the Cobbs and all these people. Like, everybody's like, oh, this guy, they get so caught up in this little bitty bubble that they miss the big picture. And that's like, it's like basic knowledge that you have to have branding. You have to be organized, and you have to win something. You have to want to win something, and it's okay. It's like the football, right? Offense sells tickets, and the defense wins games.
That's it.
So having somebody in office like the president, I mean, obviously, at least even encouraging people. If you got that 15%, that would be a lot of energy for people to be like, damn, we got 15%. And so that's the offense. That's what the play of going for it is important.
Well, I like your logo. I think it should have had time for discussion. I'm not sure what all exactly happened because we're hearing your side. Like I've always said to people, there's this person's story, that person's story, and then my perception of the truth, which could be totally wrong.
Right. My perception could
no. You were right there. You know what happened pretty much.
Here's the thing is I don't like to have to be that way, but it's like the whole point is what I liked about them was that they're going after the bad actors. So the last thing I want to do is get hit with that same little like high school like club. Like what, you're going to stand up for this guy? He's running his mouth. Oh, that shit sucks, blah, blah. Like, he's like, you should have just waited. Tony said, you should have just waited to we do things in delegately or whatever. I'm like, dude, where's the fucking rule book? Where's this shit? Like, this is what I'm talking about. You want me to come in and then do what? Sit here and fucking kiss your ass? Like, it's...
Like I said, they don't. I just got the media committee about 6-7 months ago. The media committee to use the media to have meetings. They used to fucking do it on the phone. In 2018, they did it on the phone, talking. They couldn't show their information to each other in real time, which we've been able to do for like 15 fucking years now. This is the problem. These people who claim they have all this power and can do all this shit, or they don't claim it, they act like it. That's the problem. They honestly believe that they fucking have it. And there's no it there. There's no it there. Go ahead. Sorry, Bob, and anybody else.
I was just going to say, if they had it, there'd be more Greens in office. That's for sure. This is crazy to me. Like, I never realized how much, I've never been really involved in a political group or organization before, in a very specific sense, like you guys are. And it's just amazing to me that even though I just think the shit these people are doing is so petty and such bullshit that's just distracting. That's all. That's my 2 cents.
Especially when it's so important that we have a good candidate in at least one party.
We have great candidates. I just want them to understand that that you can't continue to build if you're not unified. And
yes,
they
and this boat anchor of disunification. Nobody can swim in that ocean.
No. That's a fucking heavy anchor. Take you straight down to the bottom where a fucking angler fish will fucking lure you in and eat you.
Because I wonder. I'm like, well, it's like people talk about the Green Party, but why are people really not interested? Especially with the platforms there. But that's what it is. And the more we dive into this, the more I'm blown away at. Just think about it. If it's happening in California like that, it's happening in Ohio like that. That shit's happening everywhere in all these little factions, and it's and it's people that they get their rocks off on, having some sort of, position, and nothing moves forward because they want to keep that position. They like that little bubble, and they can't see outside that bubble, so nothing ever moves outside that bubble.
I also tried to make a new logo. I'm going to post it here for the Orange County Party. Let me just grab it real quick and I'll show you guys. I'm experimenting. I am fucking just experimenting with these new logos, and I'm doing it on Paint, which is stupid. But I'm gonna post it in Facebook, and then I'll show you it. And I got shut down. Got shot down by Old Green because I'm a newcomer. There.
I mean, is the concept or whatnot? Do
No,
what?
no, I'm going to show you the logos I've been putting out. I've just been working on it. It's kind of evolved. But I'll show you guys real quick.
All right.
Let me put it on the
YouTube or
yeah, and everything. I'll put it on the doohickey here. All right, so I'm going to put it on the share screen, which will stop the other screen, but I'll also have that on there. Let me just, okay. And then I'm going to do it on the YouTube. Right there. All right, so, oh wait, let me get out of that. Darn it.
So you made that Green Party like that?
No, see, now look. So I was thinking of a tree. So I decided this is cool. It looks kind of like a tree. Green
You did
Party.
that?
Yeah, I did that. Yeah. And
That's
then,
That's good.
and
I like
then
it.
somebody used that, didn't? I thought I saw somebody have that on a shirt or a poster. No.
I would have that on my shirt. So
I really like the concept.
So
That's
here's the thing on Orange County, California, Green Party. So see the orange GP right there. There's an orange. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's great, but immediately the first thing I got in the email was a lot of newcomers come in and want to change things and do this and that. And I'm all,
Yeah.
okay, so what I wanted to say is well, that's very inspiring. You know,
So he sees somebody that's excited, wants to, make changes that help the party, and the first reaction is gotta squash that shit.
Yeah.
Just right off the bat.
All right, buddy, like take it down a notch.
If you're in the Green Party and you don't think you need to change anything, you got problems. I'm sorry. Like,
that's the great point. That's probably the best point out there is what he's saying. So as you see it, there's the orange and the Green Party. Orange County Green Party. Does that say Orange County Green Party?
I mean, that's cool.
It says Orange County Green Party. Right? That's what it says. And there's another one right there, but it was evolving. It was something, but besides if it sucked or if it was terrible,
you're throwing ideas. You're trying to.
I'm excited. I put in time and effort and energy when I could have been making $1 billion. You know, I'd be a billionaire by now if I wasn't wasting my time, which it seems like I'm doing. But the point of the matter is this is how they recruit people. This is how they keep people. There should be a law. Okay, I got to tell you guys this. There's a law in Hawaii called the Aloha Law. Okay, let me get out of here. I'm going to show you. Now, the Aloha Law in Hawaii was created back in the 80s, the early 80s, because a lot of tourists were being harassed by the locals, whether the locals were Filipino or Chinese or Samoan or Hawaiian or Portuguese. The locals were just assholes to these people. I don't fucking know why, but they were. It's just some kind of racial crap. So it got to the point to where it was getting bad. So the state created the Aloha Law, which is still in effect. The Aloha Law says that if a tourist, that is a haole, tourist means haole, comes to the islands and is treated incorrectly or wrong, and they file a complaint, you could be fined. It used to be $70. Now it's like $250, $300. If you're not kind to these people, they should have a fucking Aloha Law with the Green Party. If somebody comes in as you got to think of them as tourists. They're just coming in. They want to see the land. They want to see how beautiful everything is. And the first thing you guys fucking do is you beat up on them.
Yeah. Dude,
you bully them. You abuse them. They're not thinking like you do. They don't act like you do. They don't talk like you do. So and they don't look like you do. They don't motion like you do. They don't fucking piss or shit like you do. So the first thing you do is you become a bigot. You become a racist. You become fascist. It's ridiculous. That's what I'm saying.
And there's the thing, you're pushing people away. And here's the exact thing. When I was in church camp, right? I grew up in church, whatnot. The one thing that stayed with me was I was in church camp, and they were going to send this girl home because they found cigarettes in her suitcase. Why they were looking at cigarettes, I don't know, or in her suitcase, I don't know. So they were going to send her home, right? It was probably 14, 15, something like that. I don't know how she was. And our counselor told them, well, you know what? If you send them home, I'm going home too. Like the whole point was like the people that need it the most, the people that are starving to help, starving to get energized, wanting to, how can I put myself into it, are the ones that are being pushed out and saying, hey, you're no good. You're not for this. This is not, no, and it blows it. That's the whole
it's
thing.
Discouraging. The best word is discouraging.
It's disrespectful and
everything
in a nice way. In a nice way, it's like, oh, do what I say. No, you come on, give us your energy on what we say. What's not working.
I'll be right back, guys. Bob,
right.
I know you want to say something. Go ahead. I'll be listening, but go ahead.
All right.
Snork's got the con.
There we go. I don't know. What were we talking about?
Everything.
No.
Making the volunteers feel welcome.
Yeah, making the tourists feel welcome. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Well, like I said, if you don't, okay, like finally some Greens are actually like getting to the point where they might get elected to Congress, so that's a plus. So they must be doing something a little right. Those individual candidates are, but I don't think the party is really the driving factor behind those candidates, to be honest with you. I don't think the party's strong. I think the candidates are strong. I think if you really want a strong movement, we're gonna have to change that.
That's great. I like that. The candidates are strong. The party needs to catch up.
Well, the people are getting in too is because that's how bad the system is. Is that
too?
Like that place, people want anything. So I don't know. For me, I mean, there's a lot of people that I'm seeing, and we're starting to see more of it because now people are engaged a little better. But that's why the opportunity is now is because people are really looking for something. They're really looking. You got to give them something while they're looking.
Well, that's why so many people left the Democratic Party. They felt like they got slapped in the face.
Yeah. Well, you get slapped in the face wherever you go.
And, like James said about Hawaii, when I was there, I was treated like family the second I was tripped off the plane. Everybody there was so friendly, I didn't know it was by law. But I mean, I still like when I see something that I could do ecologically, even if it's just a tweet for Hawaii, I do it. Because when you feel included, you don't mind putting in a little effort. When you feel like excluded, you're looking for another room. There's how many days do you want to put up with being slapped in the face? I feel bad that you got treated that way.
Well, in Hawaii, like I think, doesn't that make you like less likely to just be like dumping trash on the beach and stuff like that? If you can actually connect with the people, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying me personally, like I'd never do that, but just the general population, like if they have some kind of connection, like if they actually see the people that live here as people too.
Well, when you get your hotel room, when you get your hotel room, they ask you how many people are in your party, and they hand you these reusable water bottles. They point out each 3 floors of the building has a water spigot where you can fill your bottle. and the ground floor. If you're coming and leaving the building, you walk right by it. So no need to buy any bottles of water. Just fill up your 1 quart thing as you're leaving the building. It's got a snap on it, hooks on your belt. Go out and have a fantastic time. We give you the water bottle so that we don't have litter on the beaches. And right away, they get you in the mindset that you're not going to litter. Well, what have we done here? We took somebody that was willing to volunteer, new to a party, wanted to get involved, wanted to get going. Boom, deflated his complete interest in it. Probably ruined his feelings and motivation to even try anything else. And it's no way to grow a party that needs to go from 200,000 to 70 million voters if they want to win. Am I wrong?
And you just put it in real perspective. 70 million.
Is that the right number? I know it's at least 50, right?
Number of.
In the next election, the Green Party needs 32% to win.
See, I can't register as a Green. God damn it! Like, I won't be able to vote here, like, at all. Like, I'll only be able to vote in generals. Like, literally.
They said in 2012, the analysis for the people of voting age was 235,248,000.
So 1/3 of that would be about 70,000 or 70 million, right?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Trump
Trump won with, am I wrong, 25% of the vote?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it was they were pretty much both of them were right on. And just half of the people didn't vote.
Yeah. He had 25%. I think Hillary had like 22 or 21. And the truth is, these parties shouldn't be fighting. If we get some serious candidates in the party, even the Democratic Party itself had one good candidate, and when he got up to give his speech, they turned the camera off on him.
Yeah.
So it's not just the Green Party. We got the Republican Party. That I don't think Trump is going to make it to the midterms, and I fear because I think Pence is even worse. So
God, yes, he is.
But again, the Democrats will be playing you got to vote for whoever they pick, which looks at this point like it might be Avenatti, and over any candidate that the Green Party puts out, and that's just going to be a shit show.
Wait! You really think they're going to nominate that dude?
Well, when the CNN and other news media aren't taking anybody, even mentioning the names of anybody but Avenatti, when there's actually good candidates out there.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that if the Democratic Party shafts the good candidates this time, I'm hoping that they form another party. And they would have the people. The same thing with the Green Party. The Green Party needs to get their act together, or those good candidates need to go to somebody else.
Yeah. That's my feelings on it. Like, I totally agree with you.
And I would like to see Canova make a good show and start another. I think he would be a good anchor for a good party.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, he's very articulate, and he's doing his thing.
But just like we cannot continue voting in Democrats that do nothing and then alternate with Republicans who do harm. Well, I guess Obama actually did harm, but the Democrats at worst are doing nothing to get us ahead. So I view that if the Green Party doesn't go, the Greens should abandon the Green Party. If they cannot get their act together, should abandon. I'm not saying they go Democrat. I'm saying maybe they need to gather all the good candidates together, convince them to run as a completely distinct party from both the Democrats and the Greens.
Well, my thing is, I kind of like, I'm kind of a big fan of like insurgent stuff. Like, I I get like we want to make the Green Party like a you know, fully viable, I guess the term would be, you know, political party, because right now it's almost viable, I'd say. But I'm a big fan of like you could take over the Dems. I think you could do it. You could have like I'm a big fan. I like DSA. I'm a DSA member. So like you could have DSA Dems, you have Green Dems, like, and they could caucus together, and you could like try and turn like our system into a more parliamentary style of government that way. I don't like, I'd love to see 15 or 20% of the people in this country vote Green, but god damn, that's going to be a hard fucking sell. So
very, very hard sell. Well, see, here's the thing, like anything with the Democratic Party, it's the two-party system. So however that works, or there needs to be another voice in order to offset it. Because what's going to happen is if you offer a real option and people know that option's there, it's going to force these other people to, well, first of all, it's going to force them to kind of move a little bit, even if they're not, I mean, they're going to lie about real change, but you know.
well, see, my thing is like we should kind of try and do like all the people on the, I guess you could call us pretty far left, on the far left, further left, should do. It's like what the Tea Party people did. They fucking took over the goddamn government. They took it over, but they were too stupid to know what to do with it. So, you know, it didn't turn out that bad. But like, if you could actually get like a group on the other side with that kind of power, you could actually do some good, you know? Yeah. I don't know. That's just,
they did a lot of bad here. You know, this is a Tea Party quiet zone. We have Joni Ernst from Iowa. We have Steve King.
He's an idiot.
We have the lead of stupid. Yeah. We have the lead of idiots, or League of Idiots, as representatives for our state.
That sounds League of Idiots. I'm gonna write that down. We're gonna do a show called the League of Idiots.
I would say the League of Extraordinary Idiots.
League of Extraordinary. That's awesome. And I'm gonna give you credit for that too.
We have the
well, I have some like people I went to high school with that were like really religious, and they moved they're very Catholic. They moved to Iowa, like Davenport area. Like, so I think that's kind of the problem out there. Like, I don't know, they're just, you start getting God involved, you start.
Well, I mean, and that's the whole mentality of the church just in general. Hey, can we tell James that the Facebook is still up? You're still showing the thing.
Oh, maybe I could do that.
Oh, you can read. Maybe.
I don't know. If he has UBS.
Yeah. You're right.
I have no idea what any of that meant.
OBS.
While I have control of the Zoom, he still has control of what is being presented to Zoom.
Right.
Okay.
So basically, the only thing I can do is let people in, or.
So what's the problem?
He just has the wrong scene. He needs to change it back to, like, you know, like if you change different scenes, one scene, this thing, the other scene is actually Facebook. So he's sharing the screen.
Oh, okay, gotcha. He's sharing a weird screen on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything I can change here.
So to me, with the Green Party, to me it just seems like the people that are in power are happy with their positions. They're happy, like they say they want, to win, but it's just like the Democrats. They're making money, they're living comfortably. I don't know. It just seems to me that if they're against any kind of change, they don't want change. Well, then they want everything to stay the same, which is the Green Party is a third-rate, party. So that's my opinion on it.
They like being the underdog. They like having that because what it is. It's people that
You're
don't
still
want
gonna be the fucking underdog.
Well, no,
that's the
no,
thing.
but
Like,
it's like they don't want to fail. That's the whole thing. Is like they're so comfortable. They don't want to feel like, and they're just afraid. They're afraid. The whole
like
thing.
A failure to launch thing.
Yeah, like the Roseanne Barr thing. That's a big thing they keep using because she was in there. But here's the thing. The point is the party. If you have 70 million people in, and people are here to believe with the pillars what it's about, then let whoever wants to get on the stage, because the party's going to boo them off. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole point. Like, here's the platform in which you're supposed to have the real conversation, and you're supposed to have the most honest conversation. Because if you have left, right, middle, all these different scope people talking and really talking about the issues, the facts, and processing it, we're all going to get to the same point. It's just it's the strategy that everybody wants to argue about of how to do it.
Well, my thing about the fucking old people is your shit hasn't fucking worked, man. Get the fuck out of the way.
But here's the thing, like, it's like with Joe. Okay, so the whole thing with Joe is, if you're going to be wild haired and mad scientist type of nutty crap, you have to have
Joe who?
Manchik.
Oh yeah, okay.
Green Party guy.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, then you have to have other parts that are flawless and on point. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you can't be all disheveled. You can't be
100% ball crazy.
Well,
that's for sure.
Like, I mean, like, if you're gonna be crazy, then do that with some super nice.
Well, everybody all of us we have a little bit. That's part of us is a little crazy. There's a little crazy in us because that's what changes shit. But yeah, you got to be a little based, don't you?
Well, but it's not. Here's the thing: it's not so much as just the craziness. It's like you have to have certain types of polished things. That's the whole thing. Like, I thought the Green News Network is because it's so raw and balls to the wall. Then you need your branding to be simple, like elegant. So when they get the real shit, they're like, whoa, you know what I mean? Rather than all just organized. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, totally. No, for the one, and you got to think of it this way too. Like, that one time when CNN or MSNBC might pick up something they've done, you're presenting it in front of a lot of people. You want it to look very nice too.
Right.
Absolutely.
But here, the fact that that's not important, it says a lot about, okay, who's really.
The old logo is garbage, man. I'm sorry. It's stupid.
But it's not. But here's the thing: it's not important. But
it is important, though.
No, to them. That's what I'm saying. Like,
okay.
For me, coming in as a new person, or saying, is like, you see what people aren't worried about, and that's the basic shit. The basic is like,
right.
You want people to come in, you want them to feel comfortable, you want all sides or whoever to feel comfortable coming in, because
I agree.
The information, you have to present the information in a way that makes everybody feel comfortable about it. And that was what I liked. I was like, okay, you guys are going after this, it's a certain angle. Take this angle, but you make it specific and tone it a little bit and make it work. So when you go after somebody, we can really just list the facts, list everything. We can show clips, whatever, and then boom, you've done your hit piece on the person in the Green Party that's been derailing shit, or whatever, But I mean, you're telling me
it sounds like it sounds like a management problem to me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
100%. Yeah.
Well, they have this little voting system that what's it do? It's like, so you're gonna have people vote because they're friends with somebody or they've known somebody, and you know you're not gonna listen to the person that you brought in for that job in the first place.
Well, that's why, like you know, like everybody shits on and you guys heard of Mondragon? It's like a co-op. Like when they vote for their managers and like it's a socialist co-op basically in Spain. It's like it's like $1 billion company or more. But when they vote for they all vote for their managers. They all vote for their like the CEO and everything, but they don't like tell them their names. They just give them all the qualifications of all the people, and they vote on that. So they can't like, you know, gang group. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to vote for my friend, because you know unless you really know all the qualifications, the exact specific qualifications of that one friend, and they're all like very similar, you know. So like I don't know. It just
Well,
I think.
There's only 11 people on that board.
Well, that's probably a problem too. That's a kind of a small board, isn't it?
Well, I mean, but
for that size of responsibility.
Well, I don't think. Well, first of all, they said let's take a vote on it, right? So everybody voted, and then they said, oh, we're going to vote again on the 22nd. But it's like, why would you do that? There's just no structure. Like you said, there's no management. There's no real chief. Everybody's, you know, they're so afraid. See, there's nothing wrong with having somebody that's the chief that helps delegate. You know, you have people there to the ideas and stuff, but you still need someone, you know, to kind of make decisions, like, because it's going to come down to who you put in charge. That's the way companies and, you know, shit works. You know, like the main coach delegates different coaches to handle different things. Like they handle, you know, the producer, you know, puts everything together.
Well, that's why I used to be an anarchist, and then I was like, well, that'll never work.
Yeah.
So
no. Well, see, and I think it needs to be a hybrid society, and that's going to make people feel more comfortable about it. Because again, everything is so like cookie cutter put in this box, and that's how they do it. You know, it's the identity politic kind of mentality where, you know,
everybody touts meritocracy, but it's not really meritocracy. So if it's true meritocracy, then I'm okay with it. But it's more like people that got head starts or nepotism or, you know,
that's right,
shit like that.
A true meritocracy, you all start at the same level.
Right.
And
right, which is fine with me. I'm fine with that. That's cool. I'm good with that. But everybody that totes like our meritocratic system is so full of shit. I hate that crap.
Well, it would be fine if we had a system that made people have a better, more level playing field to start. I'm not saying people. I'm against communism because I think that ownership is good, incentives good. I just think that like any system, there needs to be a control to prevent it from getting overwhelmingly out of range.
Well, see, I don't get that. See, to me, like, man, I'm an Eagle Scout. Like, to me, like, I cannot, just because I don't own a piece of property or a lake or something doesn't mean I'm going to fuck it up because it's not mine. You know, I do not, people are fucking psychopaths, man. You know?
I mean, there's a lot of things that play into that. You know, the culture, like how, you know, and see, part of it is policy, because the policy, you know, creates the dynamic that all of our little, because there's cultures and then subcultures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, maybe that's what people need to realize and be more aware of, is that, you know, even regardless of what you know, if you look at religion, you can break down religion into different separate religions, and then Christianity you can break down into a bunch. There's like 30,000 different types of, you know, Christian religion. So
I was very proud of my daughter. Can I just like scoot off to like a little
Yeah.
like, my daughter is 10 years old,
oh wow.
and I went to a all Christian school till I was in 8th grade. Then I went to public school, high school, you know. And my mother teaches at the school. Like my grandma went to the school. So like, you know, my daughter's going there, and you know, it's a Lutheran school, so it's pretty, you know, gaudy.
Right.
Gaudy. But the other day in the car, I took her to Great America, like Six Flags, you know, and just me and her, because my wife doesn't like roller coasters and shit. But we were coming back, it was like, you know, like 9:30 at night, and she's like, why, if there's other religions, why is the God that they say in school is the right God? I'm like, that's a good question. I was like, wow, that's very insightful. Like, good for you. And she's like, I'm like, so if you know, there's like at least a few other major religions, right? And she's like, yeah. You know, she watches TV. She knows about Donald Trump and shit. Like Muslim, you know, and all that stuff. I'm like, so are they wrong or are you wrong? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, she's like, so why is one right and the other one wrong? And she's like, they're not. So I was just, it's just a proud moment for me. That's all.
I mean,
Anyways.
No, that's especially if she's going to a Christian school, you know.
Well,
Like,
that's, you know what, my wife, she went to public school all her life, and she was like kind of against it, you know, us sending her there. I'm like, you know what made me the most atheist that I am is because I went there to that and I learned about it.
You saw, see, okay, so my pops is a pastor, right? But pastor,
Oh.
preacher, evangelist, like Pentecostal. Like I grew up in the church. I went to revivals all the time. You know,
Sure.
grandpa, grandma. All
So
these
you're even more hard. You're more
Well,
hardcore than
because
we
I'm
were.
talking about church camps, and for me, here's the thing: is I didn't necessarily get along with regular kids at school and stuff. I was better at church camps. You know what I mean? Because I got to play that card a little bit. My dad's, the preacher, and I guess I don't realize it till I didn't realize it till I was older.
See, dude, when we did that shit too. We went to like church camp. We went on this lake. The girls were out on the lake. They're probably like, I don't know, a couple 100 yards off the lake in a canoe. We had a water balloon launcher, and we stole some oranges from the commissary, and some guy brought M80s with him. We stuffed M80s in the oranges, lit them, and shot them at the girls in the lake. We got in big trouble for that.
Dude, but it's so funny. Like I mean I loved it. But I was able, because I went around my pops, and because I got pushed back from people that didn't like my dad, I got to see like that side of things. I'm like, this, like the whole political thing, like that hierarchy thing, when you see it in schools, you know what I mean? Like the teachers they like the one students because the parents are all involved. You know what I mean? Like, it's like certain students did obviously get more or better, you know.
Right.
You know how that goes. So I don't know. I saw it from that side, and the older I got, the more I started to understand, like these guys are.
Yeah, I get, dude. My dad was the leader of the congregation, like the elected, like in the Lutheran Church, like you have the pastors, right? But you still have like a democratically elected member of the church to be like the chairman of the church board. And
Hey,
he
James,
was that.
James,
So like I get it.
Right.
I had the same kind of thing, man, in a different sort of way.
But I mean, but you know, they push that on you. It's like, it's not, there's no if, ands, buts about it. With us, it was like, this is right, this is what it is, they're wrong. You know what I mean? Like, And because they're wrong is like, we have to, you know, they teach you to feel sadness for someone that doesn't, like, you know, like feel sad because their soul's not going to, you know, so it's like this, it's a torture thing for you to look at somebody that's not the same or doesn't follow this boundaries. I mean,
but that might have helped my notion of empathy, to be honest. You know, I'm not saying being raised that way is bad, but like being allowed to explore your own venues is probably the way to go. Like the values that the core values, I'm not saying the shit people actually do. The core values of most religions are generally good, you know? So I don't know.
Well, but see, so that's what's important, really, and that's what I try to. This is what I tried to tell like a lot of friends and family, because I grew up in it, right? So this was before, when I still had them on my Facebook and stuff. Like, I mean, I went at a lot of people. I'm like, you know, you guys say all this shit, but you act this way, and you don't stand up for the people that they're pushing out. It's the same thing. It's the same thing in Christianity. I'm like what you're supposed to represent, you're allowing other people to create the image that's different from what you're saying it is. And you know, you get pushed back, oh, we handle it in house, and you know, blah blah, and you shouldn't speak up. And it's
my thing with Christians in this country, like the Israelites were like wandering immigrants that nobody wanted to take in because they hated them. But yet we have our really awesome immigration policy. Wait, what?
It's like the bully.
No, they're idiots. They say one. They're two-faced. They talk out of both sides of their mouths.
They don't.
That's it.
Well, and that's part of too. Again, that's the culture, because you got the Bible, you know, or they've got different people preaching different things from the Bible, you know, and they say one thing, and then there's something that contradicts it, but that doesn't contradict it, but this does. And this,
well, no, my favorite thing is like, you know, like God made everything on the earth and it was good, but you can't smoke marijuana because that's bad, and you shouldn't drink alcohol because that's bad. You know, like it just, like what?
Yeah. Expect a major ICE move, possibly tomorrow, but at least for the next month in Iowa.
Really?
A college girl got killed by somebody that was.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
Yeah,
shit.
They will be swarming here. A lot of eggs. Iowa produces many millions of eggs per day for the medical industry and for eating. They get shipped to many of the other states across the country. And it's mostly done by immigrants. And the town that I went to high school was 4,500 when I went to high school. But afterwards, these egg farms were put in, and the population just exploded. And again, mostly immigrants, and a lot of them do not have documentation. And they've already had instances where they've come in before. But President Trump needs some diversions, and you can bet that diversion is going to be massive attacks on immigrants almost immediately, I would guess.
I wonder if our area is going to get shit too. I bet they'll do like that's going to be crazy if they do here, because I'm sure there's some here.
Well, how many days can somebody be in Iowa? They're going to have to go back to Illinois just to take a break.
You do it all the time, I guess, right?
Yeah. I should be back there again in a couple of weeks.
Well, God damn it, let me know this time.
I put a note for you over there in the Zoom chat.
Oh, I didn't. I'm like so slow at this. This is terrible. Like, oh, there we go. Oh, there you did. Okay.
Bum, 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 bum,
So, but no, I like I said, with the things that happened today with Trump, he needs some diversions, and he needs some successes that are successes in his mind, and that
Oh,
means thumping
yeah, this is gonna be
on immigrants.
this is gonna be big. This is gonna have to be big, I think. I think you're right. Now that you said something about it. I didn't even think about that, but holy
They had
shit.
a $400,000 reward for finding her body, and police found it first. So then they changed it to a $400,000 reward for information leading to a suspect. And
So this guy he admitted to it?
yeah,
Did he really though?
I'm not sure.
Exactly. Right.
Anyway, he was on the list of people that were supposed to be deported.
Ouch.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, that's not a good look for us libs here.
That's going to be leverage for them to just put everybody on buses and go.
Yeah. I agree. That's so fucked up how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, here's the thing, they're instigating shit. And that already know that the FBI and all that kind of stuff like that, they're like fanning the flames. Well, they drove that guy to the thing in Texas a couple years ago. No shoot, they literally drove his ass to the thing. So I mean, I'm not saying that that's what what happened and whatnot. I'm saying at this point, like they're going to try and fan the flames as much as they can, like you guys saying. That's crazy. So,
You know what pisses me off about all this is like I just I go through like this like situations in my head like this, like what drove this guy to do that? Like, did she like find out he was an illegal and she was gonna say, "Hey, I'm turning you into ice. I'm gonna send you back to fucking wherever you came from, you asshole"?
No,
Like,
she was a. I don't think she even knew him. She was a jogger. She was out jogging, and it was a very small town.
So it was like probably like sexual assault shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this guy was probably messed up. I'm just saying, I'm just going through all the shit in my head, like what are the possibilities,
And I'm going through the possibilities of what do I think somebody that needs diversion is going to do. And that means they're probably going to come out shooting. We're probably going to see raids with shooting, where they're going to be actively pursuing. They're going to want heads.
Oh yeah.
And so if remember Waco was when they needed a diversion from Milwaukee. Imagine how many people are going to die tomorrow.
Or be sent to die.
Oh, this shit, man. It's like you get juiced up because you're like, okay, now I understand. I'm understanding the theme, how these motherfuckers are doing it, how they're beating the system, and then you feel like you're getting some kind of traction, and you realize, damn, these motherfuckers are powerful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They'll take one news story, but I've seen in my dude. I live. Snorkort knows where I live. I remember when I was a kid, like I was probably like 12, 13. I was like maybe almost in high school before I saw the first like somebody got murdered in my town, and now it's like you see that shit all the fucking time. Like, dude, I used to live in like it. I don't even know how to describe it. It's crazy. Like you see, there's people getting murdered out by like us now. Like, dude, I'm on the verge of like being in fucking corn. Like, we didn't have that shit,
No, DeKalb. I was living in Sycamore, DeKalb area, and when I was living there in 2010, we were getting constant murders.
Yeah, you were in the corn. That's in the corn. He was in the corn.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's part of it is they when they tore down Cabrini Green and Robert Taylor Homes and all the projects in Chicago, they gave all the apartments and stuff out here what they call Section 8 vouchers, and all the people that would have gotten public housing in Chicago were allowed to get apartments out here, and
Especially DeKalb.
yeah, DeKalb, in Woodstock too, just north of me in Crystal Lake. We don't really have many apartments in Crystal Lake.
Well, what happened around 2000 was, the big financial collapse.
Yeah. No. Well,
all of these people had just built all of these spec houses, where they built entire housing sections. And did
you ever know about about Motorola up in Harvard?
I'm not sure.
Motorola built their largest corporate facility in Harvard, Illinois. There are subdivisions full of roads with no houses there now. Because 3 years after they started, they pulled out and they got sold. It was around that time, like 2000, 2002, somewhere around there.
I knew an engineer at the facility. It was pretty bad. And that was cell phones. That was a technology we should have kept in the United States. But back to the DeKalb thing, all of that area, this is a ring around Chicago, about 60 miles from the center of Chicago. And all this, as housing units were white flight, they just had all these big groups of houses they were building all out around that ring about 60 miles away from Chicago.
Yeah.
And
everything it was like basically public. If you could get to public transportation to Chicago, that's how far they were doing it.
If you were within the town, all of these clusters were within 30 miles of a what they call Metra, the commuter train station. So, but DeKalb was about the last area you could reach from, and they just built this massive number of houses. And then 2001, everything went by. None of them could sell. Nobody had any money for anything. All the collapsed. So a lot of, or in our case, a church bought a whole bunch of them, and then and then rented it out to a bunch of Chicago refugees. And they put all the people that no longer could get Section 8 in Chicago because there wasn't anything available. They put them out there. And then sometime around there, then another load of them came from Katrina. And every house that couldn't be sold suddenly was filled with somebody from Section 8. And that's when the murder started in DeKalb.
Well, so that's what they're just moving them around. They did to there's a place in Carpentersville. I don't know, you know where Carpentersville is?
Yeah, it's right out there too.
Yeah, there's it's Foxview. They used to be able to drive through it. Now the police shut it down, made it a cul-de-sac. So if you go in there and you don't belong there, they're gonna pull you over. It's like, that kind of bad. It's like the new Cabrini Green, basically. I don't know if it's that bad, but they're just moving the problems around. We're not solving any of these problems by moving all these people out to the countryside. We're still keeping them poor and keeping them in crappy housing.
It's really good for banks and real estate industry, I think.
Well, and the law.
Yeah, of course it is.
The law enforcement. That's how. I mean, think about it. The law enforcement get their shit beefed up, and the sheriffs, they own the detention centers. That's what they do it here.
Oh yeah, no, Carpentersville used to be it was podunk, and then when all this stuff started happening, tons of money started getting flowed into their and now they have fucking tanks and shit,
It's
the St. Louis has never had good public transportation, but it didn't stop white flight phenomenon nonetheless, and
they all bought cars, so they didn't need public transportation.
It's normal, to not have that, and there's just so many places I've seen that in St. Louis and in Colorado also where public transportation is such a failure because there's so few people on the buses and stuff, and then it's they can't do it enough to get it to where it's fast enough, and it's just so crazy because there could be somebody that could engineer it to where it was different, to where it was like, you know, actually today I went across Portland, and Portland has great public transportation.
Well, see,
And,
is there a mentality? Is there that mentality that like in hold on, Ben. God damn it, Ben. Shh. Hold on, I got a question for you real quick. Is there a mentality that like God, Ben? Damn it, Ben. Got a question. Is it like a mentality like in those areas that public transportation is for poor people? Because I know in Chicago, like I know people that make, you know, $500,000 a year that take the train in every day. You know,
Yeah.
so and they don't.
I saw people in Chicago when I was in the public transit there that were definitely of all kinds of classes and everything.
Yeah. It's not. That's why I like Chicago, man. Like,
but I was going to say, like, the white flight issue is what I said, which I was going to just point out and mention, and the white flight thing, and so like whenever they did plan to integrate the whole city via, you know, tram or train, whatever it was, about 10 years ago, it was everybody I talked to said it was rejected because some argument started going around that, oh well, then, you know, like blacks would be all in the St. Charles on the other side of the river, you know, like that was I'm just saying, like, you know, it would be
St. Louis area. Yeah, dude, I have a friend that lives in St. Charles.
Crime in St. Charles, and that was the rhetoric, or that was actually what probably tipped the scales, because I mean, you'd think there would probably be some excitement about that. It'd probably like, when you first hear the idea, oh, that sounds cool, but then, you know, then somebody throws that wrench in there. Oh, you know, yeah, but think about this. Ooh, what about this? Ooh, fears. Ooh, warnings. Ooh, grim warnings. I don't know. Horrible. But yeah, I talked to multiple people that was the case.
White flight. What? For some reason, I feel like we want in the 50s we wanted to destroy the cities somehow. I don't know if we wanted to destroy them. We wanted to purge them, and we put up interstates through them, and, you know, destroyed. Basically, in Chicago, the way I see it in Chicago, we had some very affluent black neighborhoods. You know, there were poor neighborhoods. Poor white neighborhoods, you know, Irish, German, you know, poor black neighborhoods, Latinos. But there was a very affluent area in the south of Chicago called Bronzeville, and it was a very you know, very wealthy black people basically, and when they decided to put the interstates through, they decided to, instead of putting it through the poorer white neighborhoods, they ran it right through Bronzeville, which basically destroyed it. So, like, I think there was a, you know, concerted effort to stop growth, you know, black growth in the cities, you know, prosperous, well-meaning, you know, just, you know, regular people like everybody else. You know, they had to, because they were black, they had to destroy it, and they used the interstates as an excuse. So now that neighborhood's now basically, it's basically 90 and 94 and like the Indiana Skyway, or the entrance to it, 53, you know, on Martin Luther King. It's starting to like redevelop down there now, but it's all just it's like really nice, like brownstone apartments. It's for like really, you know, rich people. So, or at least, you know, you got to be able to afford like a $500,000 house. So
I was just thinking about like the Interstate 84 in Portland today, like what was there before. That's funny that you said that.
Yeah, that shit fucked up a lot of stuff.
I mean,
I want streetcars back, God damn it.
Actually, yes. There are, you know, there are places in Europe that still have streetcars.
We should Chicago could just like strip off like most of the fucking road, and we could just like reuse the ones we have buried down there.
They don't make them like they used to. So,
But at least Chicago.
Dude, you'll
is.
see. Dude, I love that. Like when I went to Chicago, the last time I went to Chicago, Snork was there. Like me and my wife went like on Michigan Avenue and stuff, and there was some road construction, and they like dug down and like maybe I don't know 3 feet down, you could see cobblestones, like you see bricks, you know, with the old road. It was fucking crazy. It was really fucking neat.
they were competitive. They were called cable car companies, right, or something like that, or like they had all these car companies. They were like not our car companies, but those kind of car. That was there was all these car companies, and like just the technology just is like
well, they were all like horse-drawn like cars, and then they eventually were like electrified. I think here at least they were electrified.
Is anybody else doing a stream afterward? After that, I thought James was leaving or shutting down or something.
He was getting something to eat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's still here.
He's in California. This is his meal time.
Yeah, I'm going, guys.
He's not.
Yeah, he is about to shut down here in just a few minutes, he said. So.
No,
Okay.
in like 60 seconds.
Oh, 60
Oh,
seconds.
Jesus
All
No,
right.
I said 15, 30 minutes ago, 10 minutes, 20 minutes ago.
Oh, I
So-
missed that.
But Snork missed
Sorry.
it. It's all right. I got stuff to do. I'm sorry.
We're sorry. We're
I
sorry,
tried-
James.
No, don't apologize. I just got stuff to do. I apologize. I got to go.
Chad
Sorry.
should keep it going. Chad.
Chad, or who's going to run the
Chad.
shows? Chad,
Okay.
Chad, dude.
Chad.
Snork, did you ever get an OBS or Zoom or anything? Or?
Let me get.
I don't currently have it going. Not with a new
Wait, Chad,
channel.
Chad, I don't have your. Do I have your YouTube? I don't think I
Anyway,
do.
thank you guys for coming on,
Dave
talking.
searching.
We got some good stuff out. Hopefully, Green Party pay attention, and the world will pay attention to what's fucking really going on out there. Aloha, guys.
Yep. See ya. Bye.
Bye.